Hey guys, and welcome back to Pro Speed Baseball. Now, have you ever had a coach tell you to swing down at the ball, or one of the most common, swing level? You know, you hear that all the time. And there's even this new instructional fad out there where they're teaching to swing slightly up at the ball in order to get on the trajectory of the pitch. Now, which one of these is right? Now, that's exactly the question I'm going to answer in this video, and I'm also going to share with you the one simple swing thought secret that'll get you on the perfect swing plane on every single pitch, no matter where it is. Let's go ahead and get started. To start learning how to get on the perfect swing plane or swing path, both of these terms can be used interchangeably because they mean pretty much the same thing. We first need to define what swing plane is, and that's going to be defined as the tracing of the tip of the bat from the end of the load stride position. So if we get into the end of the load stride position, as soon as our hands begin their forward momentum towards the ball, if we were to trace the tip of the bat all the way through the zone and into the follow through, that would be swing plane. So now that we know what swing plane is, which one is the right one? Is it swing down, swing level, or swing slightly up? Well, the answer is none of these are right, and I'm going to explain exactly why. In short, the swing plane is going to be a byproduct of proper hand path and body movement, and not by attempting to manipulate the bat through the zone by swinging down or swinging level. If you slow down a lot of big leaguers from the face-on view, you'll see a lot of them get in very similar positions where this bat gets parallel to the ground, and as they deliver the bat to the ball, the barrel is slightly below the hands at contact. Now, this is a pretty ideal contact position, and if we see these positions that some of the best are doing, we think to ourselves, well, I need to get into those positions if I want to maximize my potential at the plate. And that's true, but these positions need to happen naturally. I see a lot of instruction out there, some newer instruction, where there's tips or there's drills where, very similar to this, where you get into this low stride position and you try to create this parallel position. Some of them even say to put the bat on the arm, kind of like this, and try to get this bat parallel to the ground, and then you try to recreate that position. What this drill does, and like drills like that, is getting you to try to manipulate the bat and trying to force these positions, like I said, when they should happen naturally. So the question arises, how does the bat path or the swing plane happen naturally? Well, you'll see in a lot of my videos when I demonstrate taking the hands to the ball, you'll see me take my hands to the ball and you'll see this barrel get pretty even with my hands, and you won't see this barrel down position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a swing and play it back in slow motion. And you can see what I did there is I took the same hand path to the ball, but we see that my barrel dipped down below my hands. So to understand how this happens, well, we need to understand first how this happens so we know to let it happen naturally. So to understand how this happens, we have to understand two very, very simple terms, and that's force and mass. And this is a very simple concept where the mass always tries to follow the force. And the force in the baseball swing is the forward movement of our hands towards the ball. And the mass is the sweet spot of the bat. And if we understand that the mass is always trying to follow the force, then we can start to understand how to get on the perfect swing plane on every single pitch. Now, this sounds a little more complicated than it is, and I have a really great illustration to explain how this works very, very simply. And I like to do this by laying the bat on the ground and simulating force and mass. And what we're going to do is we're going to be pulling the bat along a fixed line, and we're going to pay attention to what the mass does, or the sweet spot, in reaction to the force. So the most simple version of this is laying the bat straight and pulling this bat along a fixed line, and see that the mass follows directly with the force. Okay, so now how we begin to understand how it works in the baseball swing, we offset this barrel to the right or left, doesn't matter, and we're going to pull the bat along the same line, or we're going to pull the force along the same line, and we're going to watch the mass work its way back to the same line that the force is pulling on. Okay, so how do we get into that barrel below the hands position at contact, that ideal contact position, without trying to put the barrel down here? Now, this is where we add speed to the force and how we start to understand how that happens naturally. So if we place the bat back to the right of the line, and now I'm going to pull the bat along that same line, and I want to add speed, And we're going to watch what happens to the mass, the sweet spot, when we add speed to the force. Okay, so now I pulled the force down that same line, and you can see that the barrel whipped across the line. And this happens because the mass is attempting to follow the force along this line, and because their speed, momentum is built in this direction, and the weight of the momentum is pulling the bat across the line. So how this happens naturally in the swing, if we think about that same line that we have on the ground, here, let me go ahead and get my tee back here. We think about that same line that we had on the ground, and we think about our hand path, and we take that line and we put that line from our hands to the ball, and we add speed, and we take our hands and trace that line with speed. We can understand that now the bat's on this side of the line. It's going to try to follow the force, and because there's speed, the momentum of the bat's going to dip below that line or below our hands, and we get into that really ideal contact position. And that's exactly how perfect swing plane is created naturally by hand path and body movement, and not by trying to manipulate the bat by trying to swing it down or swing in level or swing it up. It's simple, taking our hands directly to the ball. And that brings me into my simple swing thought secret that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. What is that simple swing thought? Well, I named it simple for a very specific reason, because it's just that. It's extremely simple. And what it is, what our swing thought's going to be, is to have nice relaxed hands and taking our hands, like you could have guessed, directly to the ball with some speed. If we do that, the barrel of the bat will take care of itself, drop right on plane, and be in the perfect position to hit the ball no matter where the pitch is every single time. Now I'm going to show you a really cool drill to start working on developing the perfect hand path, because now we're off of the bat. We don't have to think about trying to manipulate the bat anymore. All we need is those nice relaxed hands to go directly to the ball. So this is the drill that's going to really help you start skyrocketing your mechanics up to getting your perfect hand path. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into our tee setup, and we're going to get into the load stride position, and we're going to simply look at the ball, look back at our hands, and then we're going to look back at the ball and take a swing. The reason why we look at the ball and look at the hands is so we can train our conscious and subconscious mind to understand where our hands are in relationship to the ball, so that we can take them on the most perfect path to the ball, which is a straight line to the ball. Okay, so we're going to get in our load stride, look at the ball, look at our hands, look back at the ball, and take our hands directly to the ball. And we can do this as slow as we need to starting out, and start slowly developing speed. I'll show you from down the line. Okay, we're going to get in our low stride position, look at the ball, look at our hands, look back at the ball, and take those hands directly to the ball. Now, some key checkpoints you want to make sure you're doing in this drill is very simple, like we said in the video. Make sure your hands stay really nice and relaxed, and you're taking the most direct route, straight line from that loaded position straight to the ball, and making sure that you're not reloading before you go to hit. So if we get into this low stride position, we want to go straight to the ball. We don't want to reload our hands and swing. Now make sure you get at least a good 100 repetitions in on this drill, especially when you're first starting out. And this is a great thing to start off when, especially when you're warming up, you know, a good 10-15 swings once you have a good grip on this drill. Because ideally, when you get into the batter's box for your next game, it'd be great to have the one simple swing thought of just taking your hands directly to the ball and knowing that the bat's going to fall on the perfect swing plane every single time. So now that we know how to get on the perfect swing plane every single time, you still have to have great rock-solid mechanics to back up that perfect swing path or hand path. And I have a great power hitting series that helps you do exactly that. I'm going to play a preview out of one of the videos in our power hitting series at the end of this. And if you click on the link that pops up in that preview or in the description below, you can see that video plus the entire series absolutely free of charge. It's a great series to really help you get some great mechanics and speed through the ball. Guys, if you have any questions on this video or anything else, make sure you leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer them personally. And like always, if you guys could like, subscribe, and +1 this video on Google, that really helps me grow the channel, and I really appreciate it every single time you guys do. Thanks again for watching, guys. Good luck with your games, good luck with your swings, and I'll see you guys soon. We're going to take our hands and we want to bring them back in front of our body. If we were having a line right down our feet, and our feet are dead square, we can imagine a wall coming right up out of that line in front of our face. And what we want to do is keep our hands in front of that wall at all times. They should never get behind this wall at all. Some of your better hitters will stay in front or get right on this wall, but they never go behind the ball. So if you watch them from down the line, you'll see that their hands stay in front of their body the whole time, and now they're able to go from point A to point B and get as solid a contact as possible to hit home runs. So what we're going to do to work on this